My top 10 favorite action figures of my collection for 2023 so far. Who are they? Let's find out. Greetings, toy heads, and welcome to another episode of Go Figure with me, your host, Eli Williams, here on the Digitally Rebastard Network, the action figure show about news, reviews, collecting tips, customizations, kit bashing, everything that goes into this fun, nerdy hobby that you and I both love. And in this special episode, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 favorite action figures of my collection so far in 2023. Not doing figures that are just from 2023. This just spans my entire collection. And I'm going to look at the favorite 10 figures of this collection. So, let's start out with number 10, and who sits at number 10? That's Hasbro's G.I. Joe Classified Series, Sergeant Slaughter. I was absolutely thrilled with this when I got it. I know valaverse has had two, and they're fine, but honestly, I feel like Hasbro knocked it out of the park. Nothing really wrong with valaverse. They're still young. They're still coming up into the action figure world with their action force, and they're really cool looking. I feel like at the first they had some joint problems as everything seemed to be really stiff. Their plastic is much harder plastic. But they're good figures, and they have really good accessories and everything, but Hasbro just knocked it out of the park with this. I know a lot of people had a problem with him coming with an AK. You know, it's fine. Slaughter really didn't have a gun. My Sergeant Slaughter got the gun from the Cobra Viper originally in the old 3 3/4 inch line, but this is just an absolute masterpiece. Removable hat, removable glasses. He's got the whistle around his neck. The black tank top, you got the white webbed belt with the gold buckle, the camos. My only complaint would be that they wouldn't have made the boots the same color as the pants, or maybe a little bit lighter, but it's okay. It's not a deal breaker for me. All around, just perfect articulation, butterfly joints, elbow hinge, not elbow hinge, shoulder hinge, bicep swivel, double elbows, wrists swiveling in the right areas. It came with a few different hands. He's got the swagger stick, the little armbands there, drop down ball joint, double knee, thigh swivel, boot swivel, ankle swivel and hinge with a rocker. Perfect. You really, oh yeah, and the ab crunch. Now the only thing with the ab crunch is that they did a hinge instead of a ball joint. I think it would have worked better with a ball joint, but again, no complaints. It's just a fantastic looking figure. He towers over the other Joes. He's just massive. You just can't go wrong with this. If you haven't got your hands on this yet, tried to track one down at a pretty decent price. I had pre-ordered mine from Hasbro Pulse. It was one of the last few figures that I pre-ordered, because I don't pre-order now from Hasbro Pulse unless I absolutely have to, and it's an exclusive. But yeah, number 10, Sergeant Slaughter. And now for number 9, and staying in the realm of the G.I. Joe Classified Series from Hasbro, Storm Shadow. Whether it be the original or the retro carded. Just, again, a fantastic figure. Perfect on articulation, same as Sergeant Slaughter. Butterfly joints at the shoulders, shoulder hinge, bicep swivel, double elbow, gauntlet swivel on this one as well, and the wrist swivel hinged at the right area. Comes with a ton of accessories, 2 swords, bow, and unfortunately I don't have the arrow. I'm missing the arrow from mine because he took a dive off the shelf. He used to be in the front row, but I've got him in the second row now because I've gotten a few others. I need to rearrange that shelf, but mine actually has. I got a third party nunchucks for him because the original did come with nunchucks. I don't know why they didn't do that with these. All the way down, you've got the ab crunch hinge, waist swivel. I failed to mention too on Sergeant Slaughter that he also had a waist swivel on there. Waist swivel is like a big point for me. Drop down ball joint, double knee, boot swivel, hinge at the foot with the rocker. Everything you want. My only complaints with it is that I have a hard time keeping the bow on the backpack, which was a cause for him to fall because the bow fell off and then he tipped forward and the arrow is lost. I'll probably find it eventually at some point, but and for right now, and for all I know, it could be like at the back of that shelf. I just have to pull everything off, but just a fantastic figure. Perfect representation of what Storm Shadow is and what he should look like. Even with the modernization of this one compared to this one is a little bit more off-white. This one's pure white. You've got the different gauntlets on the but you know, either one, they're just the same figure with a few tweaks here and there, but just a fantastic figure. I cannot praise this enough. Just looks great. Fully articulated. You can get him in all kinds of crazy poses. Storm Shadow at number 9. And at number 8, Hasbro Marvel Legends House of X Wolverine. Absolutely love this figure. I've got two of them. I bought them both loose. I've got one came with the one head, and one came with the other because it does come with two different heads. One has the grayish bearded head, and the other one has the shaved head with the grin. Awesome figure. This one I actually, if you can see, I did some touch up to the boots and the gloves. I painted the bands the same brown as the bodysuit in a glossy brown to match that bodysuit. That was my only complaint, was that the boots and the gloves were kind of plain, but he's got all the articulation in the right points. Butterfly hinge, shoulder hinge, butterfly hinge, shoulder hinge, bicep swivel, double elbow, even though you can't really get it up there too much because of the glove. You've got an ab crunch there that is lower than it normally would be because obviously you want him to be able to arch his back. You've got, you know, drop down ball joint, thigh swivel, double knee, boot swivel, gauntlet swivel, ankle hinge with a rocker. Just a fantastic figure. You can get him in so many good poses. I think it's just, to me, it's just, in my opinion, it's the best looking Wolverine that they have made. There's probably a lot of people that would argue against that, but I think he's really cool looking. The claws are just, I like the way that the claws are shaped, how they come out and have that sharp little crooked angle on them. I actually have sets of I need to find two sets of hands. Somebody has have foddered out these. I need to set two sets of hands that I can glue, because I got a couple sets of actual metal claws, but they don't fit in the holes just perfectly. They're very wiggly, so I just want to super glue them into a set of hands, because I do like these claws too. Just a fantastic figure, and that's why he's coming in at number 8. And at number 7, the Mattel DC Universe Classics, the Joker. For those who don't get it, this is the Joker. When I think of the Joker in my head, this is the Joker that pops up. The Silver Age, Jim Aparo, Dick Giordano, Joker right here. The Joker from the late 70s, early 80s. This. Because to me, that's the Joker. Then this one is obviously a modern representation of the Kenner Superpowers Joker, which is essentially what the DC Universe Classics, most of the DC Universe Classics were. And they brought back that line far better than Crazy Todd McFarlane did. But this is just, and he actually comes with a cane and a little set of cards that he can hold in his hand, and a fish. I think, yeah, the Joker fish. I don't have mine displayed; those are stored away. But then he has the big green hammer. Just an incredible looking figure. To me, this is the Joker. This will always be the Joker to me. Well, this and then the Cesar Romero from the '66 Batman will always be the Joker to me. And then, of course, Mark Hamill's Joker, because I do an impersonation of his voice. But he's just fantastic looking. Just the right shade of purple with the pinstripes down. Not as articulated as some of the more modern figures, because this one is several years old. This is from back in like 2012, 2013, I want to say, somewhere right around in there. But it's one of the biggest things for me on Mattel is that thigh hinge. How you can really get the legs out on that. I always thought that was a really cool design. The way Mattel's making figures now, especially with, I know I've said it before, but with that Jurassic World Amber collection, it really shows that they need the license back for these and get it away from Crazy Todd, because nothing wrong with how most of Crazy Todd McFarlane's figures look, but I don't want a 7, 8, 9-inch figure. If he had him scaling with these and with everything else, I would be more apt to get his stuff, but I don't want to have DC guys towering over everything on my shelf. And that is why, to me, the only modern DC line is this, the DC Universe Classics, not his stuff. Nothing wrong with people who want to collect his stuff. If that's what you like, because there's no wrong way to do this. But me, and my opinion, this is it. And that's why Joker is at number 7. And number 6, the Mezco 1/12 Collective, John Constantine. And how could you possibly go wrong with Mezco? To me, they are the modern masters of action figures. Yes, they're on a much higher price point. But if you play your cards right, like I do, and I'm very frugal with how I purchase things. I did not get this from Mezco. I got this from a gentleman on eBay. But this guy comes with all kinds of crazy stuff. He's got his lighter opened and closed. He's got the cross. He's got a shotgun, a chainsaw, a sword, a dagger, I believe, all like a whole bunch of different like cigarettes, bunch of spell effects. Of course, you get the stand and everything. All cloth goods, pants, shirt, tie, jacket. 4 or 5 different heads. No, 4 heads. He's got 2 regular heads. Maybe he does have 5 heads. But he's got a couple of beat up heads where he's got like black eyes and bruises all over his face. And then there's this one is my favorite. The head, actually, the mouth is made so you can actually put the cigarettes in his mouth. Just a fan, of course. And then it's the Mezco articulation, which it's articulation all over the place. It's like 42 points of articulation or so. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But it's just a great action figure. Oh yeah, and then of course you've got all the different hands. There's a bunch of like, I don't know, there's like 12 sets of hands. Mezco is just and I don't want to sound like I just kiss Mezco's ass, because I know a lot of people saying, oh, you kiss Hasbro's ass too. Well, I'll kiss anybody's ass that makes good product, and this is good product. Hasbro makes good product, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of people that don't like their business practices. I don't either. I don't like their pre-order system. I don't like the fact that I'm waiting on pre-orders and the shit's in the store. I don't like that, but that's the way that it is, and I would rather just pre-order it and have it. Not from them, though. I've been getting mostly from Amazon. But I would rather pre-order it and have it, knowing that I'm going to get it, than to have to run out to the store every single morning like the toy scalpers do and try to get my hands on them, and they'd just be disappointed and waste gas. I don't exactly live super close to the local Walmarts and the Meijer and the Target. You know, I have to drive across town to get to them, and gas is expensive right now. So there you go. I don't know why I had to go on that rant. But anyway, Constantine at number 6. Awesome. Number 5. The Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series Empire Strikes Back Han Solo, or Bespin Han Solo, if you will. I don't like calling them that. It's like calling the Luke in the costume that he wore in, 80% of the film, Bespin Luke. Yes, it's the costume they had on in Bespin, but he had this costume on for like 95% of the film. The only other costume you see him in is the Hoth costume. But to me, not only is this one of my top 10 favorite figures of my modern collection, but he was one of my favorite figures in my original vintage Star Wars collection. This is the Han Solo I played with until I got the Endor Han Solo, and then the trench coat came off, and he ended up being my favorite Han Solo. I just like the brown pants with the blue jacket. And I have the Endor Han Solo, and he looks okay. I don't like the head sculpt. The costume is good, but to me, I like this. I like the jacket. He just looks great, and to me, it's probably the best. It's the best Harrison Ford face in the Star Wars Black Series. Just a great figure. The only thing, I really need to hit that muzzle flare suppressor on the end of that gun with either my silver Sharpie or my Molotov pen, just to give it that silver, because they didn't paint this one, which, I can do that. That'll take me like 5 seconds, but I really love this figure. It just looks great. And I've got him lined up on my... Actually, I just picked him up. He was literally right up there. Because up the whole top of my computer desk in my studio here is Star Wars Black Series. But yeah, he was literally like right up there. I got him lined up, standing next to Chewie. It's like Lando, Chewie, him, Leia, 3PO, the Dagobah Luke with the Yoda in the backpack, and then R2-D2, the dirty R2-D2, or some call him the poopy R2-D2, standing in front of 3PO, and then Yoda, the two different Yodas. I've got another of the smaller Yoda, and then the regular scary-eyed Yoda right in front of Luke. And speaking of Yoda, at number 4, the Star Wars The Black Series Yoda. And I know I'm going to take some crap for this, but just bear with me. I know a lot of people have a problem with his stature, like he's too tall. And yes, he is slightly too tall, and I get that. But the biggest complaint with at least other people and me, now this is the original, and I actually have another one of these that I've converted into a prequel Yoda, and he's like right up there. But my biggest complaint with this was the color of the skin was off. Of course, I just display him like this because this is how he came. This is like out of the package Yoda with the snake and everything. With the snake around the neck, I always thought was dumb, even in the original, which I have one of them right up there. But I didn't like the way that the skin looked. I didn't like what they did with it, so I did this. I made one. I got the version 2 of this, which is this right here, and I repainted him, the head and the hands and the feet with the correct color, and then I also put cotton on, I super glued cotton onto the back of his head for hair, and there you've got a before and after. And to me, that is screen accurate. And I know people are like, yeah, but the skin color is a little off. Yes, slightly, but not as much as this. I went for screen accuracy on this because that's the color that his skin looks in the lighting of Dagobah. And that's why I did that. This to me is a purist Dagobah Yoda. I readjusted his robe a little bit to make him look not as bulky. Him standing up on the shelf, he actually is from my custom shelf. Him standing up on that shelf really looks good. I don't have him with my regular lineup. I have him on my custom Star Wars shelf. And that is why Yoda is at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is the Hasbro Indiana Jones Adventure Series Indiana Jones. We have all been waiting for this. Well, I guess all the people who were waiting for this. And I haven't not even had this that long. But, and you're probably saying, well, why do you have 2 of them up there? Well, I have 2 of them because I got this one loose without the whip and any of the accessories or any of that. I just got this one, and I cut the belt off, and this belt, the whip, the torch, and the gun that's in the holster is from Gridiron Studios. It's a Gridiron Studios loadout number 1, and it's for Indiana Jones, and that is a wired whip that you can pose into a bunch of different, pose it however you want. The belt, the way that the belt works with where you hang the whip, because the belt really doesn't work that well to hang the whip. It's still a cool looking figure, and it's very, very accurate. It's got a great likeness of Harrison Ford. Everything is just perfect in detail. Maybe except for the color of the whip. The whip is, but it looks great. It really does look great. And just the weathering on the hat and the jacket, they really took a lot of time. And the fact that, I like the fact that they're doing multiple hands now. Obviously, the biggest complaint with this is it's not a removable hat, but I'm working on that. I've got an indie hatless indie head coming, which I am going to take the hat off of this one because you can do that. I'm gonna heat it up with hot water, and I'm going to pull that hat off and Dremel it out. And I've got a body and a head coming from Mercari for the Club Obi-Wan. Indiana Jones from Temple of Doom, my favorite Indiana Jones movie. And I'm going to 5 o'clock shadow his face, and that head is going to be on there. And then I've got the body. It's just a body and a head that's coming. I'm going to take the body and I'm going to make me like a James Bond guy out of him, a custom. But yeah, popping the head off, it's going on him. That hat's going on him, and I'll have an Indy with a removable hat. And then we also have Short Round on the way eventually here. And Short Round actually comes with Indy's hat. So I've got that option as well. But yeah, this Gridiron loadout, it's got, and I did a video on that. If you haven't watched it, go back down and watch that. But it's got the whip, the belt, the gun, the torch. Really, really sweet. Gridiron Studios, check them out. They have a website, and they're also on eBay. I don't think that this is on eBay. I think you actually have to go to gridironstudios.com to get that, but it's $15 and it's totally worth it. Looks fantastic. And but yeah, Indiana Jones, that is why he's coming in at number 3. And at number 2, the Mezco 1/12 Collective Superman Man of Steel Edition. This figure, and you can still get it right now at basically right around retail price. If you haven't got this yet, my God, what are you doing? Go get this thing. It is glorious. It's like they reached into the comic book and just grabbed Soups and just pulled him out into reality. This thing it comes with so much stuff. It comes in a big metal tin. It's got umpteen, I don't even know how many, 12, 13 sets of hands, something like that. Like 6 heads. It's got an actual laser eye head that the eyes glow red. That's got a battery in it. There's an angry head, a surprised head, a smirking head, and then just the basic static neutral head. There is a head with an eye slot that you can put eye beams in. It comes with the Phantom Zone projector, a kryptonite display with glass that you put the kryptonite and glass, lead glass, supposed to be lead glass over the kryptonite or lead crystal. Comes with the Black Mercy, a Starro that'll fit on the heads. Just a ton of stuff. It's a fantastic figure, and again, Mezco articulation. It looks great. I know there were some complaints about the S on the symbol, the S symbol on the chest, that, you know, it didn't, in the prototype pictures, it didn't have the black lines around it. Was not a deal breaker for me. This guy just looks great. And it's, again, Mezco articulation. You cannot beat this. To me, this is the ultimate Superman figure. I don't care what you put, if you want to put this up against any other Superman figure, this is it for me. Like, anything else that comes out, you're going to have to top that. And all I can say is, unless it's Mezco and they can manage to do it, you know, good luck. Because you want a comic book Superman, bam, right there. And that's why he's at number 2. And at number 1, the Star Wars The Black Series Return of the Jedi Deluxe Boba Fett. And I know a lot of you are saying, oh, gee, Eli, big surprise there. Yeah, well, he is. He is my absolute number 1 favorite figure of my collection. Boba Fett will always be my favorite Star Wars character. And that love for him goes all the way back to the holiday special. Yes, I said the holiday special. That came out. I saw that character. I was like, wow, this guy's cool. Because he's like not on either side. He's just like on his side. Sort of like he's basically the antithesis of Han Solo. Which Han Solo is, everybody loves Han Solo. He's one of my favorite characters too, but Boba Fett is my favorite character. Now this one is a bit modified. As I've done with because I have another one too that's up on a flight stand right up there. But as I've done with this one and that one, I've pulled the rubber shoulder cape off and replaced it with a cloth goods cape. But I've also done this with this one, and this is something you normally don't get to see. And I have the Tamara Morrison Book of Boba Fett head. Head's like tilted to the side there. I have that under there. I've actually dremeled this out. I pulled this off. It had a fake head in it, and I dremeled it out. And so my Star Wars Black Series Boba Fett, or Deluxe Boba Fett, has a removable helmet. But this will always be, Boba Fett's my favorite character, but this will always be my favorite Boba Fett costume, which is the Return of the Jedi version. Basically because I like the blaster rifle. I think it's the E-113 blaster rifle. This will always be my favorite Boba Fett gun. This will always be my favorite Boba Fett costume. I really love the colors on it. Nothing wrong with the other one. It's just, With the Empire version of Boba Fett, it's more dulled down. There's a lot more greens. It's like green and light green, and with this one, it's you're getting the yellows and the maroons and the grays and the dark greens, and the fact that the helmet is actually a slightly different green than the chest. I mean, they really nailed it. Even the backpack has got the blue and red and yellow. It reminds me, and some of you people who are around my age, in your 40s, will get this. It reminds me of the original Kenner 12-inch Boba Fett, because when that came out, he didn't look like even the original Boba Fett, the mail away when we got it. It wasn't Empire Strikes Back colors. They didn't make Empire Strikes Back colors Boba Fett. They were actually making Return of the Jedi Boba Fett before we even saw it. And that's what makes me love this costume even more. But that's Boba Fett at number 1. And there you go. That is my top 10 list of my favorite action figures in my collection at this point in 2023. Another 6 months, this may change. But as of right now, and I mean, I love them all. I would not have them if I didn't love them all. And there are several that I couldn't put into this. Like, I wanted to have Apache Chief from the DC Universe Classics Collect and Connect in here, but frankly, he wouldn't have fit in frame. I would have to completely change my loadout on this to get him in there. But there's a lot of them that didn't make it in there, like him, and then the Marvel Legends 40th anniversary Captain America, or 50th anniversary Captain America, or is it 20th? I can't keep up anymore. Like him not being in there. The Marvel Legends retro carded Spider-Man isn't in there. Umpteen Star Wars Black Series aren't in there, but you know, I picked what I picked because of just what they mean to me, and I went, you know, looks and articulation and accessories and just detail that made my list. If there's one in there that you think I should have had in there that you know that I have in my collection, leave a comment down below, or if you want to leave a comment down below there, and let me know what some of your favorite figures are, and we can talk about that. So that will do it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that bell so you can get information on all the good things coming out of the Digitally Rebastard Network. You all have a great week and a great day. I'll see you next time, and until then, don't forget to get your figure on. Take care.